Hello and welcome back to the next live episode of Sunflower Hour. You all know, if you are new to this channel, welcome. Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I am so glad that you are deciding to spend your night with us, and welcome to the Sunflower Hour family. If you haven't done it already, make sure you hit that like and that subscribe button so that you stay up to date on all the awesome things we have coming up, because I promise you, you are never going to want to miss an episode, and especially not tonight's episode. Now, if you are a friend, if you're already part of the Sunflower family, welcome back. And you know how much I love our producer, Sam. I am lost without her. And as you can tell by the way the show started, we've already had some technical difficulties jumping right into this. So, Sam, I know that you're probably watching. I miss you already. Come back to me soon, because I am absolutely lost without you. So before we dive into this super, super amazing episode we have coming up tonight, and I'm telling you, that is an understatement, even me saying it's going to be a super amazing episode. I have been goosebumps and on the edge of my seat for weeks anticipating this show. So before we dive into all of that magicalness, we have a couple really cool things that are coming up within the ALS Association's Greater Chicago chapter, and that is the Walk to Defeat ALS season continues. We've had some incredible walks already, and the fall walks to defeat ALS are open now. Those are kicking off. They are coming up before we know it. Already around the corner in September, we have the Champaign Walk coming up on September 10th and the Peoria Walk coming up on September 16th. Like I said, they will be here before you know it. I can't believe how fast time is going. All of that info you can find on our website at alsachicago.org. It will give you all the links, all of the possible information you need if you want to get involved. It is not too late. You can still create a walk team. You can join someone else's walk team. If you don't want to walk, you can show up and just enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy the community, enjoy just an incredible event with your family. It is so much fun, and it is a one-of-a-kind experience. So those are coming up again September 10th and September 16th in Champaign and Peoria if you want to get involved. And again, check out our website, alsachicago.org. All the info will be there. Again, if my beautiful Sam was here, she'd put all these links up and make life real easy for you. So until she comes back, visit our website. Also, a shout out. I don't know if Scott Marcel is watching the show tonight. He is a member of our family. We love him to death. You have got to meet him on the show a couple times now. He is battling ALS with so much courage and love. It is really beautiful to witness. And he has an event coming up at the end of August. He's doing his annual ice bucket challenge. You guys, he has done some incredible things. Last year, he raised so much money, all because of you guys coming together to help him. So let's do that again this year. If you want to see him get doused in ice water, you can go and physically see it yourself in Crystal Lake. Information on that to come. We will put it up in the comment section when we post this on YouTube. But check him out. Scott, if you're watching, hello, we love you and can't wait for you to take on that ice bucket challenge again next month. And last but certainly not least, you can cheer on Team ALS at the Chicago Marathon. This one, mark your calendars. It is so much fun. It is such a beautiful experience. I believe, I'm pretty sure I am completely correct in saying this, but we have all of our bibs are taken. Team ALS is complete. 200 runners. All of the bibs have already been spoken for. This is our biggest team yet. It is so exciting. So many people, hundreds of people, will be out there running the Chicago Marathon with Team ALS on their shirt, running it for the cause, for a loved one that is battling, for someone they have lost to ALS. They are out there running for them every single mile. It is making such a huge difference. Yep. Sarah, it is true. All of our bibs are spoken for. Sarah is chiming in to let us know. Yep, largest Team ALS to date. So exciting. So you do not have the opportunity at the moment to run for Team ALS this year. You could next year, but you can still come out. You can cheer on our entire team. You can support them. You can be on the different mile markers at the cheer tent, just holding up signs, yelling, screaming, because I promise you that makes a world of difference. It's those moments that get those runners through every stretch of the way and get them to the finish line. So that is such a valuable position to be in. If you have the time, if you're in the Chicagoland area and can make it out there to cheer our team on, please email Catherine. I will put this up in the comment section. She'll have all the info. She'll get you everything you need to come out and enjoy volunteering and just cheering everybody on. So her email, let me see if I can type and talk at the same time. So she is Catherine at AL. Catherine at alsachicago.org. If you're interested in coming out to support the team, make sure you shoot her an email and she'll give you all the info. And this is the 45th running of the Bank of America Chicago Marathon, and that is coming up on October 8th. So again, right around the corner. So many great things and so many great people. And speaking of some truly great people, I'm like butterflies in my tummy, you guys. I'm so excited for everyone to meet these exceptional women tonight. So first of all, the story of how they met is so exciting to me. So I'm throwing it out there. What do you get when you mix an incredible endurance magazine article, marathons, and ALS all together? I can tell you, spoiler alert, you get a life-changing friendship and one heck of an incredible story. So here to share that story with us are three amazing women who have found a bond together truly like no other. I can tell you that from even just speaking to these ladies. They are determined, they are driven, and they are absolutely relentless in their mission for ALS advocacy. Now, they've turned loss into love, struggle into strength, and heartbreak into some incredible hope. So please welcome the inspiring Andrea Peet, Jody Klein, and Jelaine Baker. Let me bring these ladies in.
Hello.
Woo-hoo! Hello, ladies. If this wasn't just three of the most gorgeous, incredible women I've ever seen, I just don't know what is. I'm serious. I cannot stop gushing on you enough. I was lucky enough to get to talk to each of you on the phone, and every time I hung up, no matter which one of you I was talking to, I just couldn't stop smiling. I couldn't have been happier. Even thousands of miles away, just through the telephone, all three of your energies just shine everywhere. It's crazy. It's like an explosion of awesomeness. You girls are incredible.
Thank you.
I just absolutely. Now, all of you have been, we're going to get to these stories as sort of the show unfolds, but in one way or another, all of you have been touched by ALS. Andrea, you are currently battling. You're in that fight right now, and you are doing that with such incredible strength. It's really amazing to witness. And Jody and Jelaine, you guys have seen that battle unfold. You lost your mom, Dawn, to ALS. So all of you, in one way or another, have been touched by this. Now, I want to dive into how ALS has specifically changed your lives. Andrea, let's start with you. So you were diagnosed in your early 30s. And this, I feel like I hear this story so often, and it's so heartbreaking. You were in such great health. You were in such great shape. You were competing in Ironman. You were at sort of your peak, taking such incredible care of yourself. And then, boom, hammer drops, ALS diagnosis, totally out of nowhere. How do you even begin to process this? What was that experience like for you?
I mean, it took almost a year to get that news, and so in 8 months I was told that I had a probable ALS, and then when the ice bucket challenge started, because it was a 14, and people were like pouring ice on their heads and on me, and I was like, have to know whether I have this or not. So I went back to the neurologist, and she was like, you know, I told you you had probable ALS. Like I can do the test again, but I don't think it'll show anything different because it's only been a couple of months, and so I finally understood that I had ALS, and the fact that I could have had the news like 4 months before, if I had understood what she was telling me, like just underscore that I had no more time to waste in the life. In a year I had gone from the half Ironman to walking with a yeah, uh, uh, cane, and my voice started uh, 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 changing. Um, it was quick.
Okay. It happened pretty quickly. What about you two girls? And by the way, these beautiful ladies are sisters. So I just love that fact too. Jody and Jelaine, you girls are sisters, and you lost your mom. I mean, so you went through that. And just quickly, what was it like for you to watch your mom go through this? And then obviously full circle moment. And now you have met and fallen in love with Andrea and you're watching this all over again.
I mean, I think there's no way to say, there's like no way to explain what ALS does, whether you live for a year, half a year, or like 14 years. It's just tragic. It's tragic, and it's hard, and it's confusing, and like, enter all the like words that one would probably describe something really devastating. And I think that's what it was. I think our mom passed away 14 months after diagnosis. So again, a very different journey than Andrea. And I think for me, meeting Andrea took something, my mom didn't have time to sort of process and find something else. It was like, this is your diagnosis, and like progression, 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 death. And so I think to have met Andrea and to be invited into this world, this like ALS world, this ALS family, has, I mean, it's going to sound cliche, but has taken tragedy and brought something absolutely stunningly beautiful and loving and life-giving for me.
Yeah, I would echo what Jill said. So our mom was diagnosed 3 months after I had my first son. So it was just an interesting, like, it was hard because as he was learning to walk and talk and move, like she was losing all those things. So it was like this backwards thing of watching my kid eat his first food and she couldn't even eat what he was eating. So there was just, like Jill said, there was no hope. I mean, she was basically told, get your affairs in order. So it was pain for us. ALS was only pain. And meeting Andrea just, it changed that. And it gave us, it kind of gave purpose to the grief and to the pain, and just gave us a hope that I never could have imagined having or experiencing with ALS. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Do you think all of you, what the three of you have gone through on the various journeys of ALS and how it's impacted you, do you think that's changed your perspective on anything, things like love and life and relationships? How has that sort of shaped the way you look at that now?
Andrea, you want to go first?
Who wants to jump?
I mean, it shaped everything. We were planning to start uh, family. And it just derailed all of our life plans. And now, like, I have this uh, community of friends who have been there for me over and over again, and just like underscores, like, it doesn't matter how long you have, it's the quality of the time and experiences that you have. And I have been like the luckiest person with the ALS, and so yeah.
I think for me, there's something, I mean, there's many ways I could answer that question. I think for me, I think ALS, how it impacted the loss of my mom, different life decisions. But in the end, I just think it grounds me. Like, it grounds me to sit in the moment. I sort of think before all of this with Andrea, I sort of kept looking like, what's next? What's next? What's my next big thing? What's this? What's this? And I think it grounds me to stay here and be as invested in these relationships and the people that surround me, whether it's my immediate family, my siblings, Andrea, the ALS community. I think it just keeps me sort of grounded in what is important. And it's also given me like and like kind of back to what Jody said, like a different purpose. Whether that is in the relationships I have, or just like life in general.
Yeah, I mean, I echo what Jolene says. I think it just also gives me just a drive, like, and to push myself beyond maybe what I thought I was capable of. I know for Jillian and I, selfishly, like, I'm jealous of Jillian and Andrea. They live close together, but just even how ALS is a part of our kids' lives because of Andrea, and that they love Andrea and Dave, and they just see that inspiration too. I mean, so it's just a part of who we are. So yeah.
Do you see that in your kids? Have you seen them grasp onto this, and do they have this desire now to want to help, want to make a difference, want to sort of join this fight? Oh, Andrea's smiling.
We all love all of their kids so much, but Jill, you talk.
I think it's such a gift, and I think my kids might, because they get to encounter Andrea on a regular basis, right? Whether that's them coming over for dinner, us meeting for ice cream, something else, they get to see this thing that mommy does, right? This training she does, and like is gone on Saturday mornings and doesn't come home for an hour or 2 hours after they wake up. Or I travel to go do something else for Team Drea. They get to see it, and it becomes like tangible to them, right? Like, even right before I said goodnight to them, they're like, my oldest, who's 6.5, was like, "Hey mom, is this going to be a happy thing that you do or a sad thing that you do?" And I was just like, that is such an insightful question. I said, it's probably going to be both, because that is what this is, right? Like I said, I get to hang out with Andrea and Jody, and also I'll talk about Grandma Dawn, and we'll talk about ALS, and that's a really sad thing. And so I think it has made ALS very tangible for them. And I mean, Andrea, I hope I don't think I've ever said this, but I hope you take this the right way. Like, I think they get to see a bit of my mom, right? Like, they get to experience, they understand that this happened to Grandma Dawn, and that, because they never met her, and they get to see, and I can say like, oh, Grandma Dawn used to talk a little bit like Andrea, right? Like, Grandma Dawn had to use a straw like Andrea. And I think that's really important for the kids, my kids specifically. That's very important for me that they grasp that. So yeah, I think that has been a very special piece to be so, Andrea and I live like 20 minutes away, and we get to be with one another regularly.
And Julia, I question so much, and we make efforts to get together, but we wish that we could see you more.
She knows she can move here. It's her choice.
Yeah, right. Just up and move. No.
They might just steal you, Jody. They might just.
I know.
kidnap
I
you
would
and
love
force
it.
you.
My
Give
daughter
you no
surely
choice.
would love it too. So.
Well, maybe we make that happen, and then after that happens, gotta get you all in one spot, and then I'm gonna kidnap all of you, all of you and your families, and I'm gonna steal you out here.
Sounds like
That's my master plan. Yeah, absolutely. And if any three women can do it, it's you, because I mean, as this unfolds, people I think are just going to be so awestruck with what you three have accomplished, because I am. And so, Andrea, after you were diagnosed, you gave yourself some pretty big, giant goals. I want to talk about one in particular. So, tell me a little bit about your marathon mission that came from your ALS diagnosis.
So when I was diagnosed, I wanted to do one more race. So we bought becoming a trike with 3 wheels, and so I did one more triathlon. And then I just kept riding it because I love the feeling of using my muscles and knowing that, that is what ALS takes away. So I just kept riding. I worked my way up to a marathon in a year, and Judy and Jolene were there for our first team trio party. And then I just kept writing, and when I got to 5 years of living with ALS, it was like, I need to set the craziest goal I can think of. Because I asked my friends to take on a race and use it to raise money for ALS research. So I picked a goal of my own, which was a marathon in all 50 states. And I was only staying around 7. Yeah, and it wasn't about actually getting to number 50. It was about challenging myself and setting a goal, because that is what people who are alive do. And they set goals and work towards them, and challenge themselves. And I felt like I needed to do something besides just running away from death. The progression of ALS, working towards something was just a different mindset, and I felt like my old self again.
Oh, wow. Well, and you gave yourself, this wasn't just a teeny tiny goal. You're saying you didn't want to run from ALS. You didn't want to embrace, I mean, you went full force the other direction. So I want that to sink in for people. You didn't just say I'm going to run a marathon. You said I'm going to run a marathon in all 50 states, and you did. This is you. You are the very first person with ALS to run a marathon in all 50 states, to participate in a marathon in all 50 states. That is just, I mean, come on. Really, seriously, this is huge. And I want people to understand this time frame too, because I couldn't even believe this. I think, and Andrea, correct me if I'm wrong here, I think from sneaking a peek at your upcoming, I won't even spoil it yet, but exciting news is coming out. But I think you did the last 24 marathons in the course of 18 months. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay, go. What? See, you're clearly the coolest crazy person ever. I mean, 18 months, 24 marathons. You're like, yeah, that's no problem. I got this.
There's a couple weekends. You did 3 in a weekend. Yeah. In a weekend, she just did 3.
I mean, that is the only way to fit in it.
What in the world? I can't imagine what that journey was like for you. What did you maybe learn about yourself through this whole process? You said you sort of found yourself again. Can you tell me a little about that?
Yeah, I mean, it was nerve wracking because it's like, you know, the airlines been damaged the track. My knees were bothering me because I was doing so many races. And you know, it was just like scary. But and COVID was going on. But it was like when you really get down to it, it's like all you have to do is put one foot in front of the other until you can to the finish line. And so as long as I can like focus on that, you know, it really that was the time that I felt the most free. Normally I use a walker to get around, and I have to ask for people to help me all day long. And you know, when I am in the track, I am on my own. I'm able to use my muscles, you know, and all of the like, you know, get there, and all of the like, logistics are gone. All I have to do is remember that today I am strong enough to do this. So it was. I mean, it was a joy. I mean, it was amazing, and I just loved it.
I never thought of it that way. What you just said, that moment of just freedom that you have in the bike, that you don't need someone's help, and that you are on that, you're doing something so incredible and you're doing it on your own. It's beautiful. What was it like for Jody and Joe, knowing that she was doing this, watching her accomplish these things? What did that feel like for you?
I mean, like when she kind of said it, like that was her goal, then I mean, it just seems like, wow, you know, that's a huge goal. But it was just incredible to watch her kind of check each off the list. Jillian and I both got to be a part of Rhode Island. We ran that with her, and that was, for me, it was extra exciting because it was the first time I saw them since COVID, so it had been a really long time. Jill had one other marathon, is it New Jersey?
Mhm.
New Jersey that she ran with her, and then we were both there in Alaska for her 50th, and we ran that marathon. And I almost can't even speak of the power of that, of like doing that with my sister again. And that was only the third marathon we ran together, but in memory of her mom. And it just had such, just so much leading up to it, and such this incredible, like watching Andrea finish it and be able to be on that journey with her was just like, it's life changing. I found running to be such a way to like process my grief in so many different ways, of like the death of my mom, but also every other aspect of grief in my life. There's, you know, different things. And so running has become just like kind of my mental health and just this amazing thing for me beyond giving me hope. And so there was just so much power behind watching Andrea through that, and then being there when she crossed the finish line of her 50th. So
Yeah. I think the thing
And
about
I want to bring that
Andrea-
back because you.
No, go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead, Jill. No. Go ahead. I was going to keep us going. I want to hear this.
No,
I want
I
to hear
just-
what it was
yeah.
like for you to get to see.
Well, I think the thing that Andrea does so well is she invites you into it. So it's not just like, we didn't sit back and watch her do this, right? She invites or tricks you or like manipulates you into saying, you know, you say yes to one and she's like, so what else are you going to do with me? But like in the most endearing, loving way, because she does it in a way that makes you feel like you're wanted and loved and invited into doing this thing. And I think that's, as much as this was Andrea's, she was like, this is yours too. Like, you know, I'm not going to run 50 marathons, but she invited me and Jody and like this huge hundreds of other people into this alongside her. And I think that for me is, it just like, whether I was running it or not, right? I ran like a 50th of them to, you know, whatever that math is. But yet like, hey, how did Montana go? Like there was this like text and you wanted to hear about it and you wanted to know about it. And so she just allowed you to be a part of it and welcomed you into it, that I think made Alaska even, I mean, we could talk for hours just about Alaska in and of itself. So I think, yeah.
I mean, about 50 people flew with her to Alaska to be there. So it wasn't just Jelaine and I and our husbands. Like, so many people were like, we are going to be there. We want to be a part of this. So,
yeah.
That's who Andrea is. She just is like, come with me on this amazing journey. Like,
and it was not easy. It was like 3 planes and 2 periods and an hour drive.
Well, in timing, you had to fly to Seattle at a certain point where you either had to then spend the night or like quick run to like the next, I don't know. It was just, I think, yeah, it's a small little island, this beautiful, perfect place. And I think, again, the fact that she wasn't like, oh, come to Anchorage, which I don't know how easy or hard it is to get to Anchorage, right? But it's this more central place. And the fact that people were like, didn't even ask questions like, how much is it going to be? How long is it going to take us to get there? Nope. They were like, you're going to Alaska for 50? We're done. We're there, you know? So.
I mean, that speaks to the power of who Andrea is. I think that's the perfect way to describe her. She's the person that inspires that in people. No questions asked. We're on a plane to Alaska. Let's go. That's crazy. Wow. Yeah. And you guys got to experience that firsthand.
Yeah.
Because I want people to understand before we dive in, because I do want to talk about this Alaska, because some beautiful stories are coming from this. But before I want people to understand the magic on how you guys even came together, because again, I'm already starting to get goosebumps. This is one of those stories, and it's one of just a long list of sort of magical moments that you have in the way life brought you together. How did you meet?
So around Jillian and my mom passed away in 2009. And around, it was coming up on the 5-year mark of her death. And I just felt this, like, I wanted to do something big to honor her memory. But prior to that, for those first 5 years, we weren't really involved in the ALS community. All we saw was pain. Like, for us, our experience with ALS was like pain and heartbreak. And it was like too painful to be a part of it. But I wanted to do something, and I kept trying to think of something. And I honestly have no idea how, but I randomly got an email from ALS Chicago, Greater Chicago chapter, saying, run the Chicago Marathon and raise money for ALS. And I got that email, and I was like, this is it. This is what I'm doing. Jillian and I are two of 6 kids. There's 5 girls, but I absolutely knew which sister I could call. And I believe, Jill, if I'm right, like that night we signed up. Like, I called you, I said, do the marathon with me. Jill had run a half marathon, but we were kind of athletes. So we played sports. So we ran to keep in shape. So nothing huge. I never wanted to run a marathon, had no desire, never thought of it. But again, this was 2014. So so we signed up, and I had this feeling, and I think we both did, like, this is going to be big. It ended up being the Ice Bucket Challenge. So the marathon itself was great. We met other people with ALS or heard stories. So we completed that in October of 2015. And then I think in January or around then, Jillian's
2014. Yeah.
Oh, 2014. Yes. Sorry. But then January of 2015, around that time, a coworker of Jillian's husband found Andrea's story in Endurance magazine. And it was about her race, her one final race that she talked about. And in that story, she was challenging people. She's like, join me and do something, like pick a race or do something because you can. Because she was kind of like, I can't do this anymore. So join my team, raise some money. So Jill and I read it, and I reached out to Andrea. I shared our story, and she's like, she lived around DC in that time. And she's like, come do a race by me, stay with us. So Jill met her one day prior. She can share that, like, one time prior. But the first time we met Dave and Andrea was September of 2015. Then Jillian and I and our husbands went and did a half marathon, and we stayed with Dave and Andrea. And at least from my experience, it felt like we're old college friends. It did not feel like there was just this instant connection. And I do think that that's what that connection with ALS, like, you just have this connection you wish you didn't have, but you did, of seeing that pain and being on a similar journey, or knowing some of that. So
yeah. And to make the connection even more exciting or more strange, the coworker of my husband knew John Blaze, who Andrea speaks about, because he was the first person with ALS to do a full Ironman, and his number was 179, which is very strangely Andrea's favorite number. So this coworker knew John Blaze as a child, and knew that I had been training. And so that's where the magazine went to my husband and was like, hey, give this to your wife, because, about this woman. And I think then the other very special thing about when I first met Andrea was that I happened to meet her on Mother's Day in 2015, which was, I think, to her and her husband, who we met for a run / trike, and then had some like a brunch afterwards. They were like, thank you for being willing to come on Mother's Day. And I think, to me, I was like, could I have thought of a better way to have an experience Mother's Day, particularly after all that was 2014 and the buildup of this marathon and this very reintroduction into the ALS world. So it was very meaningful for me to have that meeting with Andrea on Mother's Day.
I just can't believe all the connections. It just feels so much like the universe. There was no denying it. The universe was putting everything out there. You girls were meant to be together. You were meant to do this, and you were meant to just inspire and touch so many people's lives from simply you guys coming together. It is so beautiful. I love all those little connect the dots. How did this even happen? And here we are. That's crazy. I think I feel like there was even so many more, but as we were talking on the phone, it was like, oh my gosh, another crazy moment, another miraculous moment. It's just incredible to see. And okay, so now going back, so you guys met. I think it's hilarious too, by the way, that we just met for the first time, and ran. I also find that incredibly beautiful because most people know we're going to meet and, have coffee. We're going to talk. No, not you guys. No, we're going to meet up and we're going to just trike and we're going to, go on a run as people do apparently. But that led to Andrea, whatever you're doing to people, whatever mind tricks and games you're doing, they're strong.
Watch out.
They're so strong.
You might just run a marathon.
Yeah, she might have you.
I'm just saying that miracle, I can't even run down my driveway without getting out of breath. So if you pull that one off, Andrea.
I should thought there is a 5K near you.
You could
You
do
know
a
what?
5K.
I can honestly say
small.
I would never, but if I'm ever going to do it, the only person in the world I would ever do this for will have to be you, Andrea. There's no one else I could ever do this for. It would be you. Now, you inspired that in these two beautiful sisters right here. So you met this beautiful relationship. You put this challenge out, which I love, by the way. I can't run this. Get out here and run it for me. Now this leads to you've joined this mission. You wanted to be part of the 50 marathons. I want to talk about, I know you touched a little bit about the Alaska one, but Jody, like you were saying, there are some moments in that Alaska marathon. Let's dive into that. Tell me about what made this race in particular so incredibly special for everybody.
You want to start, Andrea?
Andrea, dive in. You start us out because this was, again, for everyone to really grasp this was number 50. This was goal achieved, number 50, Alaska Marathon. Tell me about that.
This island, Prince of Wales island, their marathon is so special to the community. Everyone like from every business is involved. Their schools involved. They inviting me to be a guest speaker for their race, and so we all got to stay in this beautiful lodge and go out hiking and whale watching and and then I got to do this race and it was the hellest race that I had. I knew from the elevation chart that it was going to be challenging, and it was. And someone else should talk about their race. And Oh, they saw me and then I passed me.
So Andrea had kind of, before Alaska, she had kind of said what she believed she would finish it in based on her other marathons.
Okay.
And Jelaine and I were like, we won't finish it that fast, which is kind of hard to like think about, like we're going to be there, but we're not going to see her finish. And so, so before Alaska, though, we had kind of set ourselves up, like, we're not going to see her finish. It's okay. Like, we can still be there when we finish. It'll still be exciting. So the marathon was like an out and back, which means you go 13.1 miles and then turn around and come back. So Jelaine and I were running, and around like mile 8 or 9, we caught up to Andrea. And so we were like, dude, we can do this. We can finish and we can be there when she finishes. Like, we just can't, we can't stop. And so that, for me, I know, like, because Jo was in better shape than I was at that point. I will fully admit that she could have run it faster. But for me, that was all the push I needed, because I was like, it became real. Like, I cannot give up. I'm going to push myself, and I am going to finish, and I'm going to be there. I told Andrea later, like, I was kind of hoping for the hills, because I knew every hill that we ran up, she would be really slow. So, like, the more hills, the more it slowed her down.
Which
so
is cruel, because they were, let's just be clear, these were not hills, these were mountains.
Yeah,
right?
It was
like
hard.
This was different than a hill. Yeah. So
Again, it just was so incredible to finish with Jelaine, and then to witness Andrea finishing. It was just bigger and better than we anticipated. So
yeah. And for me, I don't think, for me, I don't think I will have a moment like crossing that finish line with Jody. I don't think I'll ever experience a moment like that again. I mean, Chicago, our first marathon, was incredible, but for us, Andrea had dedicated every mile to somebody. And so there was a picture in, like, at mile 1, who, this mile in memory of, 2, 3, 4, 5, memory or honor, either somebody living with or someone who had passed. So again, out and back, you see them one way, but you're going to see them back the other way. Andrea knows my favorite and lucky number is 4. So she made my mom sign mile 4. So on our way back, we're coming up to mile 4. And I said to Jody, should we take mom with us? And Jody was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, should we take the sign? Like, should we finish this with mom? And Jody's like, you're going to carry a sign for 4 miles?
For 4 miles. And she said, I can't, but you can.
And I said, it just feels right. Like, it feels right to pick mom up and, like, to take her through. We got very lucky, and Jody's husband, bless him, saw us and was like, what are you doing? And said, do you want me to take that? And I'll give it to you towards the end. And I said, yes. I think we had maybe gone like a mile and a half with it. And so Jody's husband, Jeremy, met us at, like, with about 0.2 to go, kind of turning the corner. And we took the sign, and we ran up the little hill in the turn. And, like, we crossed with this, sign of our mom with a picture and, like, the little blurb we had written about her. And it felt like, I won't ever have that again. Like, I crossed this line, this incredibly hard marathon. It was hard. And our mom was there, and it just felt like this opportunity, or that she was there and was just like, look at all this you've done. Like, look at what you've done, and look at what this friendship and this connection with Andrea has given you, and has given your families, and has just brought life back from ALS. And so, like, for that, I am forever grateful, Andrea, because she invited us into this, and it wasn't just come watch me cross. It was like, do it yourself too.
It started, you guys. It started. We started. I can't even imagine. I can't. And then you guys got to do it together, and you got to be on that journey together. Andrew, what is that? What does that hit you with hearing that you changed these girls' lives?
I mean, it also sucks so much, and
Yeah.
just that I could be a part of turning that experience into something else. It'll always be hard for them. But that I can tag on like a happy memory. I mean that is one of my efforts. My last race to be with a happy memory from my family. So I mean there just couldn't be anything better than that.
I think it also should be noted it's more than just like I'm going to tag on like a happy memory, right? Like I think it is such a gift for me to know that I am doing something very active regularly to hopefully bring, Andrea's foundation is like make a world, be brave, make a world without ALS. And like I want that for my kids. I want my kids not like to live and like grow up and live and say ALS is no longer like a death sentence, right? It'd be great if it just was non-existent, but just something more. And I think we didn't have that before Andrea, even though the marathon kind of took us through grief for both Jody and I, and were allowed us to sort of re-enter the ALS world. It was Andrea who was like, come do something with that. Take what you've just experienced in a year. And so it was, yes, she invited us into her house, but then she invited us into her foundation, and she invited us into her foundation's purpose and these marathons. And I think that is such, yes, she gave us these moments in Alaska, but she also gives us these moments all the time to say we're doing something, right? Like whether it's like, I've never asked my friends for so much money, but I don't care. Like I'll do it because it's just that meaningful to me that we do this, and we make a world that this isn't happening every 90 seconds to people left and right. And it's because of her, and it's her leadership, it's her personality, it's her humor, it's her honesty, it's her vulnerability. All those things just like beautifully suck people in to say, what did you want? Yes, I'll do it. Right? She smiles, but she knows it's true.
It's true. The things they were saying about you, Andrea, I was trying to write it down because it was just so beautiful when I was talking to both of you, Jody and Jelaine. You guys were just, the way you spoke about Andrea was so incredible. You guys, just between the three of you, you have so much love and admiration, and it's really inspiring, even outside of the world of ALS, just about the way you treat people, the way you treat your friends, the kind of relationships you can have. It's so beautiful to witness what you have, because you have such love and respect and just true admiration for each other. And I want you to hear these things, Andrea, because I don't know if you I'm sure people tell you how fabulous you are all the time, but I want you to know what these girls are saying about you behind your back on the phone. Jody, you were saying that Andrea is the most inspiring person ever that you've ever met. She pushes you to be better and to do better. And that when your mom was diagnosed, you had no hope, but Andrea's the one that gave you hope, and how she changed your life. And Jelaine, you, echoed the same thing, that Andrea and Dave's humility was so inspiring, and that Andrea has absolutely no idea what she's giving back to others and all that she's giving off. And that's what keeps people coming back to help and to keep fighting. That she has no idea there's something so special about her that calls people to step up and say yes to joining the fight. Like you were saying, you guys are just so beautiful. So, I mean, you guys love Andrea. Andrea, what do you think about these two ladies down below? What has this friendship meant to you girls?
I just wish that everyone could have a cheerleader journey, and Elizabeth and all of my friends who lifting me up ever and ever, as much as they say that I inspire them, like they're the ones who inspire me to keep going, and if they didn't do what they do, then it would be impossible for me to I keep going. They are helping me stay strong as well.
Girls, how about what does the friendship mean to you? I mean, can you even imagine what was life like before Andrea? I
mean, I'm probably echoing some of the things I've said, but I just think she is the reason I can see ALS differently now, and I can walk into it, I can welcome it, I can talk about it. And I think, yeah, it's just very meaningful to me in that way that she's given me a different outlook on life. I think also there is a sense of just like, again, grounding, right? Like her ability to keep people grounded in something so important and so unique is incredibly meaningful to me. And like, she's genuine and she's loving and she's funny, and so like take ALS out of it and she's still this absolute delight of a person. Like I joke that when I first met Andrea, I was like, gosh, I must be so special. She thinks like she just makes you feel like you're the only person in the room, right? Like that it's wow. You that she wants to be around and be with. And then you realize like, oh no, that's everybody, which is also that much more beautiful, right? Like it's, it's not, it's not just about me, which I love because that means she's giving that to everybody. And I just am like, how do I do that? Like, how can I do that and make the person I'm sitting across from feel like they matter to the world and to her? And I think that's really, really helpful and wonderful.
Well, you better do that. What I want is that everyone with the last the time that I've had 9 years wild and that is what I want. I am a part of a group called ALS a story. Women diagnosed before age 35, and women in this group are amazing. And every time one of us passes away, it's like such a blow, and we all remember like our time is so short, and but each one of these women and everyone with ALS is so unique and special, and their own gifts do I give to the world, and we just need to raise money for our research so that they have as much time as I have had.
When you're doing that, and I think that's what gets me so excited, because you are all amazing and your friendship is amazing, and there's so many beautiful components to your story, but behind all of it is this beautiful message of hope and inspiration. And every mile that you guys do, every flight that you take, every almost every second of the life you are living is in this mission to make a difference, to make sure that nobody else has to go through what Andrea is going through. Nobody else has to go through what your mom went through and has to lose someone that they love. And I think that is what's so inspiring about you guys, because not only are you fighting through the grief, and you're fighting through, Andrea, every day losing a different ability, and you're in this fight for your life, but as Jelaine and Jody even said, and I've witnessed it, you're in this fight and you're doing it with such positivity and a smile on your face, and you're going through things that most of us can never even imagine, and you're still out there making everyone feel like they're the most important person in the room. You're out there getting people to say yes and fly to Alaska and to run alongside you, and you're getting people to step up in this big way with such love and positivity. And I've never got the feeling from you, it's never why me, or how did this happen to me, or like feel bad about the situation. You just have this positive just light that seriously just infects everyone around you. It's incredible. I can't even explain it. It's incredible.
It is taking me time to get there. I mean, when I was diagnosed, it was just like everyone else. And to get through, how do we make it work financially and every other way. It was only because my progression is not like the typical path that I had the time to go into raising and foundation and raising money Dawn never had a chance to do any of that, and so that is what I am fighting for. I want everyone to have this time.
Yeah, to give them every second. And because we spent so much time talking about this amazing goal of yours that you achieved, because it's such a big deal. 50 marathons, a marathon in every state. But even more than that, what led you? So I'm really, really excited about this. You turned this journey into a full length documentary, feature film, sort of chronological, like going through this journey with you. So, ladies, tell me about this movie, because this is such a super big deal. So you had a couple premieres, right? I know you're bringing it to Chicago. Let's talk about this movie. Tell me, ladies, tell me.
It's awesome. It's I think, Jody and I, yes, we have like a small role in it, as we've run a couple of these marathons alongside of her. And there's a very significant piece in our Rhode Island marathon that we did with her that was very significant to her and her journey. But the documentary, chronicles Andrea's just like quest to do 50. And obviously, if you're listening to this, she does it. But I, even as somebody
Spoiler
who
alert.
felt like, yeah, spoiler, but as somebody who walked with her, you know, kind of was always engaged in like I said, how was Montana? How did Portland go, or how did whatever go? Watching the film and seeing this the peek into all kinds of other pieces of this journey and emotions and feelings about this whole process. I mean, there are scenes where I'm like, I know she does it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? You know. And my husband will say there's a very specific scene. He was like, of course I know she does it, but I am like, he's like, I just got choked up because I was like, what if she does it? Like, what if this doesn't happen? And so I think it's a, you know, called Go On Be Brave. It's beautifully filmed. And just, yeah, really takes you behind the scenes on like how she did it and where there were struggles and almost didn't do it, and what it means for somebody with ALS to try to do this fast for a reason, right? Like, yeah, she did 24 in whatever, but she had to, you know, she didn't know what, is she going to be here in a year, in 6 months, you know, like those are things she had to ask. So
the scary reality of an ALS diagnosis. Yeah. Time is not on your side. What do you think? So this whole process, so now I'm saying you guys are movie stars now. What was this whole filming process like? Maybe was there anything that kind of surprised you that you're like, oh, that's how they do that? Or wow, that turned into this. I mean, maybe what was the most interesting thing about having cameras with you all the time and creating this movie?
I mean, I say all the time that I did the marathons, but our filmmakers like made the magic. They had over 200 hours of footage. And then you add in my GoPros. And like, how do you create a story out of that? And they just did a beautiful job. And I say I talked a lot of crap. It was like 3.5 years. Like and at some point you like stop caring because you know that you're only going to take what like makes a sense for them a story. And so but they knew when certain things would not happen. They were like tag it in the file because they just knew it was like right for the movie. I don't know how they knew that. And the other thing was that we never knew whether it feels like inevitable now that it's over, that there would be a happy ending, but you know we didn't know that as we were going. COVID was a huge thing. Like, you know, we couldn't just stop recording and end the film. Like, what an awful ending. It's just like I kept going and yeah.
You take, so we get to go on this sort of roller coaster with you through all of it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, okay, so it premiered, right? It premiered, where did it premiere first?
Santa
Just
Barbara
recently, I
Film
believe.
Festival in February. Mhm.
Oh, big deal.
Mm.
Wow.
Huh.
And you're working your way this way, right? You're bringing it to us in Illinois.
Yeah, so there'll be
Gosh.
some screenings the week leading up to the Chicago Marathon. So there will be a few different screenings that will be up on Andrea's website, but also ALS Association Greater Chicago chapter. Once we get those locked in, those will also be on links that they could find the website there. So we're excited to bring it to the Chicago community and yeah, ALS Association Greater Chicago chapter and anyone in the area who would love to see it. It's inspirational. So
I can't wait. And we actually have we're so fancy here. We had a hookup. I think I know somebody that got a clip. So I want to show this too. So this will give people a little teaser of what is to come. So this is Go On, Be Brave.
I have been given a gift of time that people with ALS don't have. And I've been given a perspective of how quickly it can be all taken away.
Most people with ALS become very rapidly disabled and their lives are shortened to about 2 to 5 years.
Triathlons had been such a big part of her life for so long. She wondered whether she would have one more opportunity to compete.
I'm tired of waiting around for this disease to kill me, so I am still able to ride my recumbent track. My goal is to be the first person with ALS to do a marathon in all 50 states.
I've known hundreds of people with ALS. They live with ALS. It's not about dying with ALS.
Andrea's goal, I think it's a beautiful love letter to life.
Life is no temporary. One and always continuous.
The hills in particular, she feels like her legs aren't as strong as they used to be.
Got this? Stop letting down, go! Come on. Head up.
The hill's right up.
Head up, look. Come on!
You got it.
Come on now. Do you see it? Come on. Yeah. Come on now. Awesome. Come on. You got this. Come on. Let's go.
Understand that this is not a dress rehearsal. This is it. Your life. Face your fears and live your dreams. And by all means, whatever you do, get it on film. Blazeman.
I'm struggling. So I didn't watch that. I wanted to see it for the first time. So this was my first time with everybody else that's watching the show. That was the first time I got to see that. Oh my gosh. God, I'm a mess over here. Okay. When you're going up that hill and everybody was cheering you on, that's when I lost it.
And that's her people.
Okay.
Like those are the people that that came with. Like that was just a small group, but that's, I mean, yeah, everyone just wants to, like, she just inspires people to be there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a group of ALS widows and a couple of friends, and they were out looking for their sites on the race course, and they just saw me, and it was another one of those moments where we couldn't have planned that for the film. It just happened, and it was amazing.
And they got you through it. They got you through it. Ooh. Okay, so where can, if people aren't in the Chicagoland area, and I know they're going to want to see this, especially after seeing that little teaser. I know they're going to want more. They want to be on this journey with you. Is there a way that people can see this film if they're outside of Chicago?
Jill, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah. Yeah. So if you go to the website, Go On Be Brave, you will see that. So we are currently we've had a couple screenings, but we will continue screenings. I think we have over 50 screenings thus far across the country. So that's one way. But you can also, there's ways to possibly inquire about either a private screening, or we have ways for somebody to see it in that way. So if you don't see your city or a city close by you, one, it doesn't mean that it's not still in the planning process. Or you can inquire and say, hey, I live in Phoenix, please, like, how do I get it? Yeah. How do I get it in Phoenix, or how can I access it for my community to see this? So yeah, you can either access the film through to the Team Drea Foundation website, which is Andrea's foundation, or just Go On Be Brave
film.
Yeah.
.com.
Is it? I'm going to put it up in the comment section. So what is that link? Is it BeBraveFilm.com?
Go On Be Brave Film.com.
Yeah, we're looking at ways for people to host their own house party, and so if you want to send us an email or fill out the form, then we will get back to you.
I love that. I love that idea. And we were toying with that. And I want anyone that's watching chime in. If there is a city near you that you want to see this film come to, throw that up in the comment section right now. Let these girls know where you want to see this film. And then, yeah, we'll keep you up to date too on the show. We'll keep everybody posted. But I love that idea, Andrea, of doing these private screenings. Get your closest friends, family, have a little party, bring everyone over to your house, watch this movie together. And just, I know you're going to walk away from it just feeling so incredible. And I have a feeling, again, like after getting off the phone with you, I hang up that phone just from a conversation and I feel invincible. I feel like you all three of you, it's not just you, Andrea, all three of you made me feel like I could do anything. I know I can't run a marathon, but you get me excited that, oh my gosh, maybe I can run a marathon. Like you guys just give that. And so I can't even imagine what you're going to walk away from feeling after you watch this film and after you get to be a part of her journey through all of this. So you have to check it out. You guys go to GoBeBraveFilm.com so you can find out screenings near you. Like I said, reach out to them. If you don't see your city on that list, I'm sure these ladies can make it happen. They will get that film everywhere that they can get it. Let them know where you want to see it. They will make it happen. And okay, so if running 50 marathons, competing in 50 marathons and making a movie, traveling around touring this movie, if all of that wasn't enough, you decide I need to do more, Andrea. I don't have enough on my plate. I need to add some more things. Let's bring it on. So you have some I'll let you say it. You have some exciting news. You have something coming out maybe in September, I hear.
So my memoir at 15. So everyone will be sticking my ashtray at the end of the my friend Meredith Allen has written 2 books, and so she helped me, and Pegasus Books is publishing it in like lightning record speed, and so it will come out on September 5th. You can pre-order it on Amazon or your favorite local independent bookstore, and yeah.
So cool. And again, I'm missing my Sam that always has all these links ready for me. Ladies, does one of you, could you throw that up in the comment section, maybe her website of where people can find if they want to buy the book? How do they do that?
It's
I love one of these fabulous girls.
It's actually on the there is a link on the film website. Go on BeBraveFilm.com.
Beautiful. And that we're putting that up in the comment section. And then absolutely too, I'll put all of this up in the description so that anyone, if you guys pop back in, just come back to this video and then you'll have all the links that you need to get everywhere you want to get. So you make sure you don't miss a thing. You can see her film. You can find out more about the foundation. You can stick with Andrea on her journey. You can get the book. We'll get you all the info because I don't think there is any such thing as enough of Andrea. Not possible. Yeah. We're always going to want more. Always. And we're going to want more of you three because you three girls are just so incredible.
I just, this is my opportunity to raise money for ALS. I will never have another better opportunity like this, and so I am going for it.
Yeah. Was that the goal? I mean, what do you want people to take away from either seeing the film or reading the book?
Just that the worst day of your life doesn't define it. Doesn't define you unless you let it. There are lots of lessons, but the book is called Hope Fights Back because I gave up hope like immediately, like why bother? Because ALS is a death sentence. But what I learned, because I have this gift of time, is that if you let it and you let hope and friends and positivity into your life, like hope will fight back. It is not a gentle passive like thing. They would kind of think of like it is a warrior, and it's definitely like you want it on your side.
It's like that quote we saw in the video clip. I was going to talk to you about it, but I mean, we got to see it right there. That beautiful quote that you guys got to read on the beach when you were spreading some ashes. That story is so beautiful. And if you want to know, I was going to give you a little clip on the book, but I'm stealing so much of your ladies' time. So you're going to have to read the book to find out what I am talking about. I was lucky enough to get to steal a few pages. I got to read a little bit of it and said, I want more. You sucked me in. I want to know more, but there's this beautiful quote in there. And honestly, even just from the time that I read those pages, I've gone back and I have looked at that every single day since you sent that, because this quote was so special. And it's such a beautiful reminder. It's in the movie when you girls were on the beach and said that, I don't even know where it is now, but life isn't a dress rehearsal. That this is it. This is your life. And you face your fears and live your dreams and take it in every chance that you get. And by all means, is my my favorite part, that by all means, whatever you do, get it on film. So that was beautiful. What was the story behind? I mean, I know now that quote is so meaningful to me. Why was that quote so meaningful to you? Why was that the perfect words to read?
John Blaze was the first person to do a full Ironman with ALS. If you Google his name and on YouTube, you can see it. ABC Sports followed him, and he finished in 16 and a half hours. You're only allowed 17, and he, that was his poem, and I saw that right before I was diagnosed, and I took that with me for years, and and he was the one who had the bib number 179, which has been my random lucky number for like 20 years, and I mean it's just another one of those crazy not coincidences. Yeah.
I love it. Well, what a beautiful way. I would keep you girls with me forever. I would never let you leave. I don't want to steal even more of your time. Thank you for sticking with me even longer. We had a game we were going to play, but I mean, we could still play it if you want to keep hanging out, but otherwise we're going to have you girls back because you're just so much fun. And what you are doing, I cannot say it enough. What you are doing is so huge, and you are inspiring so many people. You are making such a difference in the world of ALS, and I can't thank you enough. So yeah, thank you doesn't even seem like it does justice, but I'm going to say it anyway. Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. Is there anything you want to say that you want everyone to know before you take off? Any more chunkets of wisdom that you want to impart on everyone before we go?
We will all be at the Chicago Marathon. Jillian and Jody and several of our friends are running for Team ALS, and I will be there. And the Chicago Marathon won't let me do it on my track, which is another theme in the book and the film. But
oh no,
we're
keep fighting for it, right?
We are working towards inclusion in all of its efforts. So working on progress.
And I would just say, like, right, Andrea's story isn't done, right? Her what she's doing doesn't end with this film and this book. And so I think I promise, like, follow her on Instagram, like, find it, go on Be Brave. That's another way to find out when and how you'll be able to see the film. Following Team Drea Foundation on social media would be another way to just stay involved in Andrea's story and all that she is doing for the ALS community.
I love that. And we'll include all those links too, so that you guys can find her real easy and you guys can stay with all three of you incredible women. Everyone can stay up to date and be a part of all of your journeys. So yeah, it's not over. It's not over until we get to be able to say that we have found a cure and that we get to live in a world where ALS is a livable disease. And then I can't wait to be able to say the words, now ALS is a curable disease. We will get there. We will. And thanks to you ladies, we're going to get there even faster.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you girls so much for joining me. Believe me, now you are part of the Sunflower Hour family. I will be bothering you. I will be getting you back because there's so many more things we have to talk about. And I want to hear, I want to hear about your experience at the Chicago Marathon. So everyone come out and see them. You get to cheer on Jolene and Jody, and you get to be there next to Andrea as we cheer these girls on. So make sure you come out and see that Chicago Marathon and cheer for Team ALS. But ladies, thank you for being so incredible. Thank you for everything you're doing and continue to do. And like you said, this story is still unfolding. I can't wait to see what you girls do next.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Bye. Okay, I'm no joke. I wanted to keep going for another 3 hours because these girls are so incredible. If you have not yet just been blown away and inspired, well then I don't even know what to tell you, but make sure you check out all of that information. Go on BeBraveFilm.com so that you can find out where the screenings are. Make sure you go catch that movie. You want to read this book. I promise you, you will not regret it. These girls are doing so many amazing things in the world of ALS. They're helping so many people, and let's help them. Let's do our part to help these girls make a difference. Let's put an end to ALS because we can do this together. Thank you so much for sticking with us. I know the show was a little bit extra long tonight, and I know I wasn't speaking about the comments, but I promise I was seeing all of them. You guys have been amazing. Thank you for loving the show. Thank you for being there. If the girls are still listening, people were jumping in saying how beautiful all of your smiles were, how inspiring your story was, and they all cannot wait to get out there and support and love on you even more. So thank you to our Sunflower Hour family. All of you are incredible. I'm so grateful for you. Make sure you tune in to the next episode next month as we start gearing up for the Chicago Marathon. But until then, be bright and shine your light. I will see you guys next time.